Following his blockbuster biography of Steve Jobs, Walter Isaacson's New York Times best-selling and critically acclaimed The Innovators is a riveting, propulsive, and at times deeply moving the Atlantic story of the people who created the computer and the Internet. What were the talents that allowed certain inventors and entrepreneurs to turn their visionary ideas into disruptive realities? What led to their creative leaps? Why did some succeed and others fail? The Innovators is a masterly saga of collaborative genius destined to be the standard history of the digital revolution and an indispensable guide to how innovation really happens. Isaacson begins the adventure with Ada Lovelace, Lord Byron's daughter, who pioneered computer programming in the 1840s. He explores the fascinating personalities that created our current digital revolution, such as Vannevar Bush, Alan Turing, John von Neumann, J.C. R. Licklider, Doug Engelbart, Robert Noyce, Bill Gates, Steve Wozniak, Steve Jobs, Tim Berners-Lee, and Larry Page. This is the story of how their minds worked and what made them so inventive. It's also a narrative of how their ability to collaborate and master the art of teamwork made them even more creative. For an era that seeks to foster innovation, creativity, and teamwork, The Innovators is a sweeping and surprisingly tender-hearted history of the digital age. The New York Times, an Amazon Best Book of the Month, October 2014. Many books have been written about Silicon Valley and the collection of geniuses, eccentrics, and mavericks who launched the digital revolution. Robert X. Cringely's Accidental Empires and Michael A. Hill's Six Dealers of Lightning are just two excellent accounts of the unprecedented explosion of tech entrepreneurs and their game-changing success. But Walter Isaacson goes them one better. The Innovators, his follow-up to the massive in both sales and size Steve Jobs, is probably the widest-ranging and most comprehensive narrative of them all. Don't let the scope or page count deter you while Isaacson builds the story from the 19th century innovator by innovator, just as the players themselves stood atop the achievements of their predecessors. His discipline and error-based structure allows readers to dip in and out of digital history, from Charles Babbage's difference engine, to Alan Turing and the codebreakers of Bletchley Park, to Tim Berners-Lee and the birth of the World Wide Web, with contextual nods to influential counterculture weirdos along the way. Isaacson's presentation is both brisk and illuminating. While it doesn't supersede previous histories, The Innovators might be the definitive overview, and it's certainly one hell of a read. John Foro,